What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another full self-driving beta video. My name is Chris, trying out something a little different here. So I have the roof cam on so you can see wide angle for these unprotected lefts, and also GoPro is a little wider so you can see the whole steering wheel, but it does sacrifice quality just a tiny bit. But let me know what you think, just playing with some stuff. So I thought I would do voiceover here so we can do a little more analysis on what's happening with beta here rather than just my reactions to things. So you can see we're starting off the drive here. And all I wanted to see in this video was unprotected lefts, and then there's a cool parking lot, and then we do some roundabouts later. So we're starting with these lefts here, and of course this is the build that was specifically for Chuck's turn, but there are many more unprotected lefts all over the place, and we want to see how the car will do. So I was parked there, and I just pressed my little button and let the car take over. It kind of was paused there for a bit. It took it some time to really figure out what to do. It may look like I steered it, but I did not. Sorry about that weird watermark. I got a new phone, so it kind of messed up my recorder settings. That'll be gone next time. But you can still kind of barely see the autopilot wheel popping out there. So we had a left already, and the car did all right there. Tiny bit hesitant, but this right turn is really good. It pauses. There's a squirrel in the road. The car doesn't seem to notice, but it doesn't matter. It just continues on. Now, as we move up to these left turns, another thing that I want to mention is this is a limited release because Tesla wasn't sure if there would be bugs or whatever. So it only went up to those first 1,000 people, and Elon did say that 10.69.1 will be out Monday, and that should be a more stable release and should go to some more people. And then he said another week and we'll get .2, which should go to the wide beta pool and hopefully some more safety score people that have a good enough score, whatever that is going to be. I know as low as 92s have received it in the past. So we're coming up to the left turn here. It's not that crazy, but it is 5 lanes. So you got 2 lanes in each direction and then a middle left turn lane that you have there. And I wanted something that was a bit challenging and had some traffic and stuff, so I thought this was a really good spot to try out. So we're coming up. The car's going to make its complete stop, and that's kind of like the first thing that I think trips a lot of people up, is no one's going to stop back here to make a left turn. So most people behind you expect you to move up, but no big deal there. So the car creeps out, and there is traffic to our right, but it actually does a very good job of just slowly moving out there. And I was actually really impressed by this first run. There are cars behind us at this point, and that couldn't have really gone any better. All right, so lining up for our second attempt here. Unfortunately, on this attempt, there really was not much traffic, but you know, that's what you get. I mean, that's the situation that we were served this time. The car rolls up, makes its complete stop like it always does, and then, like I said, there's really nobody. You can see the creep wall there. The car, that's how far it will go. And after this box truck on the right, that's pretty much all we got. So the car waits for that, and then it does move through. So, hey, it completed the maneuver really well. It was very comfortable. Not too challenging on that time, though. All right, so we are about to go for attempt number 3, where the car kind of screws up, and I have to actually take over on this one. But before we do that, full self-driving is getting so expensive. It's going to be 15 grand, so you're going to need to save up some money if you want full self-driving. And today's video sponsor might be able to help you with that. Finimize is an app that helps you become a smarter investor in just 10 minutes per day, delivering all the insights and tools you need to make smarter financial decisions.
I'm Tamika Smith with your Finimize Daily Brief. All your financial news in about 3 minutes.
Y'all know I love investing and trading options and buying lots of GameStop, which I still love. And using Finimize is helping me learn even more about GameStop. Like, GameStop is about to have a golden cross, which is one of the most bullish technical analysis signals you can find. Also been reading a lot about Tesla, and their profits just keep growing. They keep pumping out more cars, and I am just so bullish on Tesla's future. Learning all of these things about my favorite companies makes me much more confident in my investment decisions. Even if your favorite stock is having a dip, going down pretty hard like we've seen in the market, the knowledge that you've gained can help you remain comfortable in those tough times. It's so easy to learn on the go with Finimize. I like to use it when I'm at work on my lunch. It's just so easy to pop it up. I'm eating something and learn a couple things before I have to get back to work. Finimize presents bite-sized, jargon-free information in a fresh and easy-to-read format. Check out my link in the description below to get a 7-day free trial of Finimize and 40% off. Become a smarter investor in minutes. Why do you need to try Finimize? Short and engaging stories. It helps you understand the biggest financial opportunities. It can guide you on topics around financial literacy. And Finimize is so efficient, you can cram hours of research into just 10 minutes of reading. Finimize will make you smarter and more informed about the companies and investments you already love. Thank you to Finimize for sponsoring this video. All right, attempt number 3, and this is where we have our first little issue. I don't know if it was more my mistake, but I think the car wasn't exactly doing the right thing here either way. So it starts to pull up, and this part's really nice. You know, we have a bunch of cars on the left, and the car's doing a really good job. The Tesla is not moving out too far, but it is getting ready for this turn. And then as we move forward, we start to have some traffic from the right. And it's hard to see, but there is a car coming up behind me in that right turn lane. And the way I hold the wheel, I just took over pretty much on accident because I put my hand so that the car cannot turn the wheel farther than I would like. So I thought the car was going to go too far into that right lane. If you watch it again, you can see that it kind of bounces off the white lines there. And so I did take over. I did take over steering so that we wouldn't get too close to the car in that right lane. But it didn't turn in front of anybody that was in the lane we were aiming for. All right, so while doing these left turns, I got just a little bit distracted by this weird parking lot situation. This building is like basically on stilts, and I always have people asking for parking garages. So I was like, you know what, this is a great opportunity to try at least something a little bit like that. So of course, under here, you're not really gonna have any GPS reception. So I park and I turn beta on, and you can tell it's pretty confused here. It's trying to figure out what to do. And then it ends up just stopping. And I think I mention it here when I do it, but I do press the accelerator just to see what it's going to do if I force it forward. But before I press it, it absolutely does not move at all. It pretty much is just stuck there. So this is somewhere where, of course, normally you just take over. So push the accelerator, and yeah, the car's just going to kind of go straight as I command it. So
Pressing
let's set this one up one more time.
Letting off.
All right, so here we go for another run. I turn it on, and you can see the directions on the map actually have us taking the road we came from. But this time the car does okay, kind of getting out of that situation. It gets away from the building, figures out where it wants to go. It speeds up pretty good here, a little more than I thought it would, but it makes it past all of these obstacles here, no problem. That felt very comfortable. And it actually does find an exit out of the parking lot, which I thought was so cool. It then changes its route on the map, but then this left turn maneuver, you know, we're doing unprotected left, so I kind of let it go. It thinks it wants to turn right. You can see it kind of trying to decide what to do. It ends up going left. It takes this gap that's given to us by a human. And I'm not doing anything here. I'm just letting it do its thing. But I'm a little nervous about, you know, poking out there. And boom, you can see there's cars. And I end up just taking over because it was just a little too much. And I didn't want someone coming from the right. So the car, I don't know, it did better than I thought. But it definitely didn't complete that without me helping it. All right, now we got one final unprotected left to do here. And this is a different spot, and you got uphill to the left and downhill to the right, and the right kind of bends around, so it can be hard to see cars coming. And the Tesla does not do very well on this one. So the left is clear, and I kind of thought it was going to use the middle left turn lane, which is something I would do. I thought that was really good. But you can see it really hesitates here in the middle of all those lanes. Again, of course, I'm in control, making sure no one's coming for us, and the car just kind of sits here. So it's like taking up that whole lane. And then when it does get a gap, it does punch it. We pretty much just got lucky, though, that nobody was coming, because if anyone came from, you know, that opposite side, I would have had to take over there. And then just for reference, we will throw it in here. Here is a left turn at a green light. So we have the right of way. It took the human there a second to figure out it was green. And I was just trying to get to the next destination, so I didn't even have it on, but I figured I would, you know, turn on beta right at the last second there, and it perfectly handles green arrow like it should. All right, now we are coming up to our roundabout. So this is a very special case here. So this roundabout actually to the left, the final exit as it would be from this direction, is closed. There's a road closed sign, and you can see the car's already planning for that. And unfortunately, we learn in this example here that when I do not have internet connectivity, it will try to take that exit. And when I do have internet connectivity, it will not try to take that exit. So it kind of solves our mystery of the car rerouting and avoiding the road closed sign from a few videos ago. And yeah, so if we have our cellular data, I don't know what's up with my car, why it keeps losing connection, but if we have our cellular data, it will know not to go through that road closed sign, of course, if the map's updated. All right, so our first attempt was actually really good, but you can see now routing with no traffic data, the car wants to go through the road closed sign. So it's planning that, and then we stop here right in the middle of the roundabout. I'm not sure if that's because it did see that so early. I wasn't sure what to do, but it continues here, and of course we get somebody behind us, so I can't play around too much here. But the car pretty much just wants to go that way, but it does slow down and stop. You'll see in the next example. All right, so attempt number 3 here. As we go through, we got our data back. You'll see it pops up in a second here, and then the car instantly knows that that road is closed and does the right thing, and it does this perfectly. This could not have been done better. It enters the roundabout at a great speed. It takes the whole roundabout at a great speed. It doesn't brake, doesn't do anything wrong. So roundabouts are not 100% yet, but they are finally at a point where sometimes you're going to get a really good run, and it's going to do a great job going through there. All right, we'll start this one back here so you can see the Hummer EV. Those are decently common around Michigan, not Ann Arbor as much, but you can see here we've again lost our data. So let's see what the car does. The car enters the roundabout okay, but again, starts to brake, gets really weird, going slower than before, which, you know, wouldn't be a big deal, but it's just too slow. And then it's going to approach this sign, and it's going to stop. But again, somebody's behind me, so I have to dig over and move out of their way. So let's try it again. All right, final attempt here. I'm more looking forward to doing A to B drive testing. I think it's just more realistic for what the car is used for, but it's fun to see these different scenarios as well. Enter the roundabout really nicely. No problems interacting with other cars here. And then we go to the sign, and the car, again, just sits here. I let it sit for a second so you guys could see what it would do. And it did actually reroute. So it seems it was going to do the right thing, but I took over before I gave it a chance to do that. So that part would have been really cool to see. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know what you think of this style. If you have any questions, leave those down below, and you will see me in Full Self-Driving Beta in the next video.